Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Knowledge Panel Show with our special on perfect content. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to the Knowledge Panel
Oh, that's me.
Show with
Sorry.
our special.
My bad. Don't
I
worry
just,
about me.
I just have a caveat. Dixon gave us our title, Perfect Content, and I said, okay, as long as we all agree that nothing is perfect. So, but we do want to show you how you can use AI and tools to really get the best content that you want. If you're an SEO or a writer for your clients, and Anton, if we could get that first slide. So, everyone, welcome. We're going to be doing a live demonstration. And just to give a little background, for the past year and a half, AI has been spreading across the business world and being used from coding to analyzing to summarizing and beyond. And businesses have been using AI to create content and embracing models like ChatGPT. And recently, Google's helpful content updates and their core updates have wreaked havoc in the SEO community, and people are very nervous about using AI, and they've been fearful. I bet we have people who didn't come to this presentation today because of that fear. And today we're going to show you how to use AI strategically and how to use your own human input to make it work. Anton, do you have the slides? Do you have the slides?
He said you have to share them in our private chat.
Yeah.
You have to share the screen and then he can pull it up.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen.
Oh, so I have to share my screen of those slides I sent you?
Oh, I didn't know you'd sent him some slides.
I did.
Just put them on your screen.
Slides.
Well, why don't Dustin and I introduce ourselves whilst you're grabbing the slides?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go first. Hi, I'm Dixon. I'm CEO at InLinks, and I'm going to take you through the first part of content creation and use InLinks to create an AI-driven draft of some stuff, and then we're going to pass it over to Dustin, and Zara is going to take it on. InLinks is a semantic entity SEO tool. It analyzes anything really that you give it, well, any text, we're not really up to videos, and converts it into underlying knowledge graph entity type ideas, and that can be used to help generate content as well. That's me. There you go.
Okay.
Well, my name's Dustin. I'm the founder of Magai. Magai is the all-in-one AI platform that allows you to bring ChatGPT, Claude, and all the other big AI tools that are vying for your subscription dollars into one unified platform under one subscription. So you don't have to go everywhere to do everything. Everything's all in this one platform with Magai. And super excited to be here. I love teaching about AI, and very excited to be joining Dixon and my longtime friend Zara. I think it's going to be a really great time with some really great educational content. And for all of you watching, this should be interactive. So please send your questions to us in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or wherever you're streaming it. We are here to answer those questions for you and make sure that you are well equipped to go empower your AI content after this webinar.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have perfect content. Let me see if I can do my slides here.
Yeah, they're on the screen. I've got perfect content in the bag.
Yeah, now we've got artificial intelligence. And Dixon, I think this is a quote from you. It was in my notes, but I couldn't find the source. But anyway, artificial intelligence. AI is like a herding dog. It's ready to work, but it needs direction. As I remember, you said that.
I could have said that, but I'm not going to take the credit in case I misquoted and then sued for libel.
That's why I
Which,
didn't
you
want
know,
to put your name on it. But that is essentially the message that we have for you today. That that AI isn't enough. You need the human input. You need the human input to really make it work and deliver the kind of content that you want. Because perfect content covers three important areas: optimization for search, delivering your brand message in your brand voice, and providing answers for your ideal clients and target audience. And that's what what our goal is in creating any kind of content. I hope that's your goal, right? And because perfect content, quote unquote, is for the customer. Um, Jason, hi, Monty. Glad you're here. A writer who specializes in SEO is much more powerful in terms of content creation than an SEO who happens to be a writer sometimes. That's from Jason Barnard. And we are creating content for the customers of our clients. All right. And oh my goodness, I just have to leap around here a lot. I'm sorry, guys, for the delay. Perfect content is dialogue, and anyone that follows Theodora Petkova, you know that when we initiate something on the web, we are starting a dialogue. We're entering into a conversation, and that is the feeling that you want to give in your content, is that you are conversing with that one person who's reading it right now. It's not, hey, you guys, hey, everybody. It's the one person who's visiting your web page at that moment, and you're creating a dialogue with them. And it is just so important. And the reason it's important is, next slide, is it creates trust. And David Amerlin says trust is more important than ever. And it certainly is in this day and age where people are wondering, you know, is this real? Did AI hallucinate? Um, and and what is this business saying to me that I can trust? That's what people want to know. They want to know that the answers that you give them to your questions are real. And search has already, this is what SEOs do, they get people to the website. So search has already found your web page as an answer. And now it's your job to create that content that delivers trust, that initiates that dialogue and gets people to respond.
Can I
So,
put an exclamation point on that for you, Zara, and just reinforce what you said?
okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So this quote from our good friend David Amerland, I learned a lot from him in our Google Plus days. And one of the things I think a lot of people forget when they're thinking about SEO is they're thinking in a shallow way about, I just need to get Google to rank this article.
Right.
And they forget, what's the result of Google ranking that article? A person is going to visit that page and read the article. So you can't just write for the sake of SEO. You need to build that trust. That article needs to fill a need and speak to that person who lands on that page. If it's nothing but a bunch of generic AI-driven copy that is just boring and uninteresting, and you're not speaking to that specific person, that person's going to leave. You're not going to build the trust, and that traffic is thereby worthless. And all of that SEO optimization you did is worthless. And so what Zara said is absolutely true on the deepest level is, yes, get ranked, but also make sure that that ranked content touches that user in a way that makes them trust you.
Oh, thank you, Dustin. Lots of exclamation points. And one more thing, I was talking to an SEO, I don't know, last week, and they said, here's a page, and if you write, I want it to be like this. And the page did a lot of SEO things. And there were statistics and numbers and percentages and this and that and the other. There was not one benefit to the product, and there was no call to action. So it worked from an SEO standpoint, but when a visitor came to the page, there was really nothing for them. This is why you want this product. So I guess we're beating it up here, but
It's important. It's an important fact.
it is. So
I think we'll demonstrate that when we go through.
Yes, I think we will. All right. So I think we're ready to get going.
All right. Do you want me?
Officially welcome everyone, and just in a second. Just want to officially welcome everyone. I'm Zara Altair, a semantic content writer. And one place Dixon introduced me as an SEO. I want you to know it's a myth. I am not a technical SEO. And a little introduction to why this is happening today. A while back, I was working on a writing project for an SEO and started experimenting. I do love to experiment. And the results of the experiment led to today's live demo. And so we're going to show you how fears about AI and the recent updates and the helpful content update raise so many questions about using the AI to create content. And we're going to quell those fears and show you how AI helps you create content that is on the mark. Okay. All right. Dixon, you're on.
All right. Okay. So Zara, but thanks for the great sort of intro slides and stuff as well. So I think that's a good starting point. So guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to start by creating some content, and then I'm going to hand it over to Zara and Dustin, who are going to make it magically better. And the great thing here is that we're using a couple of different systems. So we're going to use InLinks and Magai, and Brain 2.0 as well. So which is a very, very useful brain. So let me just get my screen up here. And share, and that should be there, so that should be fine. Hopefully you guys can see my screen here. So can someone see my screen?
I can see it.
Yep. Okay. Good. All right. So this is the InLinks backend, and I'm going to create a content brief. So you can create projects and things in here, and it does all sorts of SEO stuff. But we're going to write some content, and so I'm going to create some content, create a brief from scratch, and I'm going to target it to the US market. The reason I need to do the US market or specify a market is because we're actually going to use Google's search API to work out what counts as trusted content or solid content, and we're going to go for a phrase which hopefully is the same one that I gave over to Zara last week, which is plan a 2-week trip to New Zealand. We decided that Zara and I want to go to New Zealand, and so we need to plan a trip, so we're gonna do that. Now, you can here kind of optimize an existing piece of content, but this is not what we're trying to do here. So I want to explain what happens in the background when we try and create a knowledge graph of things that we think you need to talk about, even before we get to any AI. So the first thing that we do is we look up the 10 results that are appearing on Google Search API for the phrase planning trip to New Zealand for English United States. But what I want to do is actually change one of these. I'll just take one of these out. The thing is, if you just stick with what Google says, you're going to get what Google says. And with the idea of helpful content, it might be nice to just change one out. So I've grabbed this page from Tourism New Zealand as well. And what's great about this page is it's never going to rank for anything, but it's really interesting. It's got a mindset overview, which can have different kinds of people. So I'm going to choose one of their mindsets as another one. I'm going to choose this considered rejuvenators. Is that considered rejuvenators? Yeah, slow down, take it easy. So now they've got a page in here that's about a certain type of holiday that we're going to get. So I'm going to put that in here as well. And what I'm trying to do here is just not have just the same results that Google has got, because it's not going to give me anything new. So you could have your own content, you could take some other bits and pieces, but just made it a little bit of a change. So now it's going to crawl those web pages, and it's going to create a knowledge graph of all that content. So it's going to have a look at all the things that all of those pages are talking about. And they're the ones that Google think are the best, or you think are the best, or and you could use other ones as well. And then it's going to say, okay, right, now we're ready. We can see on the right-hand side here all of the different topics that we think the competitors are talking about. We can actually have a quick look at the competitors. So we've got 10. We've actually got 11 because we added one as well. So these are the 11 pages that we've used to try and create a topic, a knowledge graph or topic chart. And the topics that they're talking about, in fact, are all listed here, and they're sort of grouped here around tourism and hospitality, and or transportation and stuff like that. So you've got all the information here, but that doesn't help us necessarily start writing some content. You can just start writing in this box here as a human being, and as you write about food or flights or whatever, these things will start turning green, and you'll start to see that content there. And that's how it was, for our tool at least, before AI came along,
Right.
or before generative search came along.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
yeah. So and then we kind of realized that there was a whole new world out there. And over the last 18 months, we've been building some pretty cool additions. So we've got this AI assistant now. Now the AI assistant, as you'll know, Zara, actually stops here, and we ask a human to get into the loop. And the reason that we do that, one of the reasons that we do that, is because as you said so well at the start, both of you, when you're writing for a human being at the other end. So we've got a whole bunch of different audiences that we've analyzed for the phrase plan a trip to New Zealand. And I think a lot of SEOs just go for, right, here's the phrase I've got to optimize for, and then they start writing content. They don't think about their customer. But we've got a bunch of different possible people here, and obviously people that are adventure seekers are going to want a different 2-week trip to culture lovers and nature lovers and family travelers and budget travelers. So Zara, did we agree to go to culture enthusiasts?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take that one. And then we've also got to choose a tone of voice. Now, I can't remember when I sent everything over to Zara last time round what I created, but let's go for a conversational tone of voice. You can stick with the boring stuff, but to be honest with you, you're going to be much more targeted if you think about your audience before you start, because that's going to create different stuff. Oh, and you can also change it from a blog post to a sales page, but I'm going to change this to keep it as a blog post. So now we're going to create some structure, and already we've got a human in the loop at a couple of different places. When we set up the trusted seed set at the start, and when we're listening and thinking about the audience in here, and that's going to help to structure a content plan that is going to be better than if we were just allowing the ChatGPT, or you could choose a different engine here. Not as many as you can choose in Magai, I would have to say. I think we're ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4. But anyway, so this is now going to create a content structure based on effectively that topic wheel of ideas, but it's going to be influenced around the audience that we're talking to, and it's going to come up hopefully with a content structure that will allow us to generate at least a first draft of the AI, paragraph by paragraph. So so if we have a look at the content plan on the right hand side here, these headings here are the same as these ones over here, but we've got this content plan now of this is what we want to do in the introduction. We want to talk about embracing the spirit of air, which is a Maori word for, I think, for New Zealand, and then preparing the journey, immersive Auckland, venturing south. You don't have to use all of these, but this is the content structure that we've got coming out of the system. So this is still not really designed, not really traditional ChatGPT. This is basically some methodology around the AI that InLinks creates, and then we've helped to give some structure. So again, you can edit this structure before you start allowing the AI to get involved. So you could change some stuff in here, or you could just add the structure into the editor, and then ask the content writer to carry on writing it, which sometimes is a better way of doing things. But this being AI driven, we're going to press the button. We can press this button of write all sections, but I'm just going to do it one at a time so you can see that you can control to a certain degree what you're trying to do here.
Can I add
please do,
Dixon? And that is this brief is going to be very, very comprehensive. And one of the things that you can do when you're using InLinks is to choose and select which of these suggested components of the article you actually want to use and include. Today we're going full tilt boogie, but I just wanted to stress that you have the power to choose which things are actually going to be included and which ones you're going to exclude for the moment, maybe save them for another blog post or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think I may have already gone overboard on this with this. I suspect we're going to end up with 4,000 words, but I know that you're going to take a refined version down here. But I wanted to show the bit. I do want to just press that little button here. I'm interested to see what it comes down with the 2-week itinerary. I know that the version you'll have will be slightly different because the world changes, and I definitely used a slightly different seed set this time round because I brought in that New Zealand tourist board site here. But essentially here, we're going to be creating all this content, and you can see here that it's coming up with some reasonably good first draft, I would say. So you're gearing up for an adventure of a lifetime, etc., etc. So you can then add these into to the editor, and we've got a place to start, and then let's just see what's happening on my 2-week journey. And then I'll pass it over to you, I think, Zara, because I don't want to go too far.
Is it in there? It's okay.
It's taking a lot of thought to do that one, so we'll have it anyway. So we can see that we've now started to create a whole load of content. Now, this content here, what we've done to stop you publishing this, I mean, there's a publish button here if you're a WordPress person, but to stop you from just accidentally publishing automatically AI-driven content without thinking about it. This gray line here is just a formatting to stop you from doing it without thinking about it. So you can have a look at this paragraph by paragraph and fix it, and get rid of the gray lines. And I think that's a necessary. I mean, if it goes live, it's just got a little line down it, but it's a necessary evil to stop people getting too enthusiastic and starting to publish things, just because they can. I hope that our customers think that's a good idea. It was a decision because it's a bit annoying if you really did want to just publish it, but I think it makes it better because it's harder to and also as you get rid of these lines, as you do things, you can check them, etc. So you notice our content score has been going up here, and as we put all of the content into the system, it'll go up to 80% plus. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's perfect yet, does it, Zara? So that's kind of the creation of the initial draft. But I think I'll pass that back to you, Zara, and then you take that content or a variation of this content, because I know that we've created it a different way this time round, and then maybe you guys can
Right. Did you add me? Did you add me to that one?
Not to that one. I thought you were just going to take the one I did a couple of weeks ago.
No, I wanted to go through the whole.
You want to go to the whole?
So just add me to that one, and then I can do that. And while we're getting that ready, Dustin, would you please introduce everyone to Magai, because it is fabulous.
Yeah, sure. So like I said in the intro, Magai is the all-in-one AI platform that gives you access to all the world's AI tools. So instead of having to have a subscription to GPT-4 or ChatGPT Plus, instead of having a subscription to Claude and then a subscription to Leonardo and then a subscription to Midjourney and then a subscription to all the different AI tools, Magai brings them all into one place. So you're using the same exact AI tools, but you're using them in a more streamlined manner. You're getting all of them to work in one place, which makes it easier for teams to collaborate. We have team features. It makes organizing your AI generated content easier. We have folders, we have search, filter. You can stay organized. We have workspaces where you can separate projects, clients, brands, what have you, and really just make creating and generating and working with and organizing AI content way easier. And on top of that, saving you a ton of money and not having to subscribe to 15 different apps. So that's what Magai is. And I just want to say I love InLinks. That demonstration was wonderful. I also want to say how I appreciate your responsibility in this. The fact that you've made conscious decisions to make it to create a little more friction so that people do take the time to review. So there are a lot of products out there. I get pitched products every single day of one-click, blog post generators. One click and it'll generate a blog post for you and automatically publish on your WordPress site, right? I get these every single day. And these companies claim to be SEO experts. They claim to be AI experts. They claim to be, the bee's knees. These apps claim to, walk on water and glow in the dark. Just press a button and it's all done for you. And I've tried them all. I take those pitches. I've run a demo.
I've run a little program. I've tested 4, including our own, and I did, exact match. In fact, you can, your guests can go and see them. That travel facts A, place facts A, place facts B, place facts C, place facts D.com, and I created 4 identical-ish websites with identical-ish content, except they were all generated with different AI tools. And I just used the out-the-box settings, including InLinks is one. I did that ages back. I can say that actually none of them got banned, but none of them did very well, including InLinks. I think you have to have Brain 2.0, and that's why we introduced this need to think about it, think about your audience a little bit. Don't be able to press a button without something in the use.
And what I'll say to cap that thought off is, all the content that's generated is typically really bad. It's SEO optimized, but you read it as a human being and you go, this is garbage. Like, a lot of these thoughts are not related. A lot of the sections don't seem to flow nicely into one another. It feels like hot garbage. And I'm just going to tell all the audience out there, take the time, use an app like InLinks that will sort of encourage you to make those checks and balances, because if somebody's offering you a one-click SEO optimized blog post auto-publish solution, it's going to be garbage. It's going to harm your reputation. It might drive some traffic, but again, like we said in the beginning, a real person's going to be part of that traffic, and that real person's going to read this article and it's going to look like garbage and read like garbage, and they're going to never trust you again with their business. So review your content. Keep that human in the loop and use tools that are responsible in the tools that they create. I was supposed to talk about Magai.
That's very kind of you. You should talk about yourself now.
Well, Magai, is one of those tools that definitely helps you to save hundreds of dollars, work in collaboration. And on top of that, allows you to sort of play these AI models against each other. So for example, you can use, one of the things I like to teach about is the difference between these AI models and, the strengths and weaknesses of each, because they all have different nuances. So GPT-4 tends to be super creative and that's why it's really great for what you're doing, Dixon, especially the outline part, because it's super creative. It creates, really great stuff. But where it sort of falls apart is in its accuracy in maintaining integrity. So if you were to have it rework content over and over, you'll find that it starts to invent points that weren't there in the original outline. It starts to rewrite stuff that you didn't want it to rewrite. And that's
one of the reasons that we do it paragraph by paragraph, so that we don't let it hallucinate too quickly. I mean, it'll still hallucinate for sure, but
it's more likely, the more content you have it do at once, the higher likelihood that is. And so it's nice to be able to say, start with GPT. And then if you want to refine content, really big sets of content, established content, to work with something like Claude. Claude is much more responsible and less likely to hallucinate, much more likely to maintain the integrity of content. So Magai brings you that ability to sort of start with one AI model, change to another seamlessly, and that AI model will continue the conversation as if it were already in the loop. And so you can kind of play these AI models together seamlessly. On top of that, having the image generators and the video generators all in one app. And that's Magai.
Did I manage to assign it to you, Zara, appropriately? Or did you?
Yeah, you did. I found it. Thank you very much. Okay. And one other thing I wanted to talk about usability with Magai when you're actually using it and you're working with it is the ability to save the chats that you've done, the ability to save the prompts that you've done and find them.
That's one thing to save them. It's another thing to find them when you need to go back.
Exactly. You want to, it's just like filing. If you put it away and you can't retrieve it, it's pretty much useless. So, so one of the things I enjoy about working with the Magai is that there is that ability to also create workspaces, which can be for a client, or it can be for each business that you're working with, so that all the chats that are created for that business are in one place. It's like your own very own filing system for chats. And so over and above all the brilliant things that it does and the ability to get things. Okay, Gary, thank you very much. Dustin, can you just add that link to the chat?
Yeah, magai.co. I'll add it to the chat here.
So okay. Zara, why don't you show us? Take it away.
All right, here we go. I'm going to present.
Oh, it's not letting me comment, but.
Okay, well, Magai.co. Hopefully, maybe our producer can put it in a chat box somewhere.
Share screen. All right. So, we have the InLinks. We have the InLinks content, but before we go to InLinks, I want to get ready to do this, and so I'm going to go to Magai.
Yeah, I put it in my little subheading here in my.
And okay. Tell you what we're doing. First of all, today we're going to be working in a workspace which I just created, which is me, right? Which is custom content writer. And we're also going to be working with a persona, and this is where a lot of the power comes in. Let's go and we're going to look at. And I created for this example today, I created travel business located in the United States. And on what this does, and Dustin, you can back me up with this, but when you create a persona, you create what I call a system override for the chat. you're telling the chat, always be thinking about this. This is who is speaking, and this is how we want you to write content. And so we're going to have, you're going to tell it what kind of tone of voice to have. And obviously, travel agency is going to be warm and engaging and at the same time authoritative. But you're going to find that for a travel agency, you're going to come up with words that you might exclude from an IT website. They're going to be, words that are exciting and enticing because you want people to come to your travel agency and do that. And the way that you do that is that you create, there we go, we create prompts. And once you have Magi, you're able to find these prompts. Dustin has a complete walkthrough about this, but you're going to collect information and give the chat various writing samples from your client business. And then it's going to analyze the text that you give it. You give it, say, 3, 4, 5 different samples of what your client business has written in the past. And it's going to look at those, and then it's going to analyze them. And then it's going to, from that analysis, create a style sheet, as it were, for your business. And that is what you use in your persona to create that persona and instruct your AI what to do. So now
So that's really cool. So basically, you can take that from their existing blog. So you can have a writer that's already been writing for them for some months, and say, right, we need that style when we write anything new. So
yeah. And I'll just kind of summarize it as this. Think of it as giving the AI a personality. You are instructing it at a system level. So this is different than a prompt that you would give it in like normal chat GPT. You would prompt it, say, I want you to act like this. I want you to speak like this. I want you to talk like this. This is actually getting inserted into the system level. Without getting too technical, every AI model that you use, ChatGPT, Claude, they have what's called a system message, and the system message dictates how it creates content. It's almost like the lens that it views everything to and the filter that it puts everything to. So every prompt that you give it, it has to first go through that lens or the glasses of its system message. And in most cases, that system message is very generic. So by inserting a persona, the set of instructions that tell it how to behave or how to act, this then becomes the AI's most important filter and its most important instruction to sort of produce everything through. And that's sort of the big power of having custom personas, is not only are you getting much better output, but because that's the AI's most important objective, is to follow that instruction, and then everything else after that. But also it's always within the AI's memory, so it never goes outside the context window of the given AI model. So, and in Magi, it's very simple. It's just simply you can type out the instructions, or as Zara said, I have a whole article walking you through how to use existing content to sort of craft that, have the AI craft a persona that's explicitly for whatever article examples that you have. And we can probably give that link out to people who want to read the article.
Okay, so once you've done that, once you know what workspace you're in, and you've created your persona, you can start putting Magi to work. And so we're going to do this. We're going to use ChatGPT 4. I've tried using Claude with this. I did a whole bunch of experiments over the weekend, and our persona is going to be our travel agency, and we're going to start using this persona to refine what InLinks has given us for this 2-week vacation. Okay.
Cool.
So, what is it? What a cultural enthusiasm.
For a cultural enthusiast, take a 2-week trip to New Zealand.
Audience. All right. And always be polite with your AIs.
You never know when they're going to become AGI.
This section. All right. So then you can just take from InLinks this first part and put it in here. And this little lightning bolt is what gets it going. And voila. And now it's creating essentially the same information, but in the voice of the business. And once that's done, you can copy it and I use Google Docs and just paste it in here. No, we don't need that right now. Thank you very much.
Now, one thing worth mentioning right here as well is Magai does have a document editor that you can pop out and build this entire document inside of a long form text editor, right side by side with the chat. And then in a single click, once you're done, you can copy it over and then paste the whole thing into a Google Doc, which can make it a lot faster for some people. Instead of having to go back and forth for every section, you can kind of build it all right there in the sidebar.
Yeah, I think it's good that different people work in different ways here, don't they? So, but it's nice to have an editor in there. But and also you've got images. Can you add images in there as well in your editor? Because that's something we can't do in ours.
Currently, we don't have the ability to do images in the chat. It is being worked on by my developers as we speak. So it is sort of a separate tab or a separate utility. You jump into the image editor and it has its own interface. But eventually, yeah, you'll be able to do all the image things and all the video things right within the chat interface as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm just going to do 2 sections for the sake of the live demo. Okay.
So we got a question from Gary. I'll answer real quick while you're working, Zara.
Yeah.
Does Magai do video scripts for short form video and long form video as well? Yeah, the great thing about Magai is, and I try to give the credit away whenever I can, really the credit goes to AI in general. So generative AI, speaking specifically about chat, conversational AI, it has a huge range of abilities. And this is, something that was the big unlock of ChatGPT. You can literally tell it to do anything, and it can utilize the vast data sets it has to do exactly that. And so ChatGPT in particular is very good at video scripts. Claude is actually really good at it as well, especially Claude 3 Opus that just recently came out. So yeah, you can literally just tell it, hey, I want to make a video script for a short form video or a long form video. Maybe start with one, then do the other, or vice versa. But yeah, generative AI, conversational AI is extremely good at video scripts. I've done it several times for our own marketing efforts. So yeah,
Dustin,
absolutely.
can I ask, has Elon given you access to Grok yet?
Well, he called me up the other day, and no, yeah, I've actually been using Grok, so I've been a X Pro subscriber, I guess, or Twitter
Yeah,
Premium
Twitter X.
subscriber
Yeah,
since they
yeah,
first
yeah.
offered it. So I had access to Grok inside of Twitter for a while, and it's okay. It's not the what I love about it is it has personality. So most of these AI models, they don't come out of the box with a lot of personality. So you kind of have to give them that personality, in the form of a persona. One of my favorite Magi personas that we preloaded for everybody is a stand-up comedian. It makes everything funny. So Grok has that sort of out of the box personality. It can be really weird. It can generate some really weird stuff. But one thing that I do appreciate about it is, much like Claude, it's really good at not hallucinating or reinventing facts. And so I was using it to create a story one day, and I was just trying to see how good it is at maintaining that story if I ask it to change specific sections. And I was more impressed with Grok's ability to change only what needed to be changed and keep the rest identical than any other model out there. It's really a kind of a fantastic ability of this AI model. So I would say, write the story about a man going to space and discovering something. And so write the story, and I say, well, I don't like this section right here. Change that section to something else. And it would. Everything else would be identical. Only that section will have changed. And so, yeah, I'm excited. They're teasing out API access to Grok. And so as soon as API access is available, you can bet that it will be available inside of Magi as well. And everybody can experiment with it in there.
Hey, Pops of Petals. For today, I was using ChatGPT 4, and I actually did an experiment over the weekend, the past weekend, where I worked with Claude, and Claude had more trouble getting the business persona voice than ChatGPT 4. So I think if you are writing content for a specific business, which is the focus of today's presentation, ChatGPT 4 is going to be the most customer directed voice that you can create. And then where are we here? I just wanted to talk a little bit about bringing that, what did you call it, Dixon? Brain 2.0?
Brain 2.0, yeah. I think Brain 2.0 has to keep on fighting its corner with LLMs. Yeah.
It does. So there are a lot of things that even with your persona, you're going to discover that there are things that sound like AI generation. And I've got to tell you that gerunds, which are verbs that end in ing, are something that all AI models seem to adore and embrace. So when I go through and start using Brain 2.0, I just take out the ings. And you actually end up with a clearer headline for your section. And depending on your style and your business's style, you could even shorten it down to a comprehensive pre-departure guide. It's going to be how you work with your client and what you think they want as far as the length of their headers and what they want. And I would just take out this whole sentence. Welcome to, it's another one of those things. It's like, oops, didn't AI write this? So I'll just take it out. I just wanted to demonstrate how Brain 2.0 works. And I kind of minimize adjectives. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I think most of you know how to edit text. I hope you do. And let's just do this. So we can just go through and do this. And then for the sake of time, what I wanted to do.
Another gerring there.
Yeah, and it just, they're everywhere. They're ubiquitous. And it is one of the clues of AI generated text. And I'm going to put a link in the chat in a few minutes. I think I collected 25, but there are many, many more AI words and phrases for you to cut or rephrase because they just keep popping up and you just don't want them in your text. Okay, so once you've gone through and you essentially have the essence of what was originally created in InLinks, and you've generated text written in the voice of your business, in this case, our American travel agency, and you've done all your editing, then the next step is to go back into InLinks and add the new text. And what I'm going to do for this is just go here and go back to this one. This is the one that Dixon and I we're working on. And this is what we finally got. Because one of the things you want to check, and I've had this.
I'm still seeing the Magai screen at the moment. I don't know if that's what you're.
Oh, okay.
I'm seeing Google
Oh, that's because I'm way off. Okay, so Dustin, I have to say your UX is lovely, and I just wish that our UX was like that.
Thank you. UX is one of my obsessions.
I can tell. So,
That's
the one thing my team complains about. Yeah,
it's why I had to stop consulting.
Yeah,
I was a design consultant for a number of years. I owned an agency, but I spent too much time on the UI UX, and I couldn't scale that business because I'm the kind of guy who spends like an hour and a half deciding how round should this button be, and that doesn't scale very well.
There are limits. Sometimes you got to get on with it.
yeah. Which is digital products are much better. I can use all my perfectionism, make one thing great, and help thousands and thousands of people.
Okay. So the last step is to. I recommend that you save whatever InLinks has generated just for your peace of mind.
Yeah, it's probably a wise move. InLinks does have an issue if you try and open too many different windows at the same time. It can get confused. So, yeah.
So,
have you just undone it? Control V.
There we go. So, one of the things that happens is, whoa, this is really interesting.
I think you've got the old content, I think, now.
I'm not sure, but anyway, let's share this tab. So I went through and we got an InLink score of 94. And the reading went up a little. And also the very last step for this, I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
Yep.
Okay. So the very last step for this is checking, AI content detectors are a tool, and they kind of give you an idea of whether the content is AI generated or not, but they aren't very reliable. But be that as it may, many clients are concerned about this. And so the very last step in this process is checking that content with an AI detector.
Mhm.
And I also suggest, rather than plunking in the whole article, that you go section by section, because if there is a section that seems to be detectable as AI content, that's where you want to do your editing. I mean, you could have an article that's 98% undetectable AI, and there's one little paragraph or sentence or something that the AI detector says, "Oh, this is AI." So same process is that you want to go and check section by section in your AI detector, and it does give your client peace of mind, because right now everyone is nervous about using AI.
I think you're right, though. The AI detectors don't seem to be doing a very good job.
They don't do a good job, but be
Either way
that,
round.
This is
I've tested
GPT-4.
it with stuff I've written myself, and it's told me it was AI generated. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
um,
mean, if you put sections of the Bible in, it'll say it was AI generated. So
Yeah, but although that was probably the training, it was part of the training set. So
right, yeah. So anything
enough.
that's similar to its training sets, can also be flagged as AI detected. So I've tried again all these products, right? And my wife is also she's a middle school English teacher, so she has to sort of be aware of this new wave of students using this content or using
Yeah.
these tools to cheat. So she
Yeah.
has to find these, and so I tend to be the filter of like, okay, is this AI content detector? Is it really going to work for her? No, and I've yet to find one that is truly accurate or reliable.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
they are a thing that people are using, right? So if you have a boss
So
who's going to throw
Simon
your content
Coxey.
through it,
Simon
yes,
right?
you
Coxey.
do, right? Because
One
we
thing
were
I'll say
working.
is, when you do use a persona and you're using an advanced model like GPT-4, it's near undetectable. That little addition of a
It is
persona,
near undetectable, and that's why I say go in section by
yeah,
section, because you're gonna find out that the vast majority of what is created is going to be seen as non-AI generated. But to reassure your clients, you can do this. I mean,
You know
we
what?
know that they are unreliable, but that's it. But I just want to say, Simon Cox dinging. That's it. I, I love it.
Simon
So
Cox, if you didn't see his message up there, the point is the Bible is the Bible's AI generated question. I knew it. Anyway, so there we go. We've probably reaching time. So I
we're
don't want
getting really close. Gary had a question. When I save my InLinks text, I copy it into a Word doc. Yes, thank you.
to.
Is that recommended way to save these?
You know what? I'd save it any way you can.
Yeah, whatever you're used to, Gary.
It's
I
supposed to
I
save
use
it,
Google
and it
Docs.
does most of the time. But I have to answer a lot of the support questions, and when it doesn't, it really annoys a customer. So we try and keep that to a minimum. And also, of course, if it's new content, you can publish it in draft to WordPress as well at any time. But yeah, there ain't no harm in using Google Docs or Word. Word has a tendency to try and cut and paste lots and lots of control characters, or used to. I don't know if that's still the case anymore. I think that our editor strips all that out if you paste it in, but could be wrong.
backup is never a bad idea.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay.
I have to say, I do like it when two tools come together and help to crack a problem like this. It's for me, it's been an interesting hour. So thanks, Dustin, for coming on. And
Yes, thank you
Absolutely.
very much. Yeah, I was just I am prone to experiments. Thanks, Simon. I am prone to experiments, and this just sort of popped up, and I said, "Hey, Dixon, what do you think?" You know, and we just kind of went for it. So I want to thank everybody here for being here today and your great questions. And you can contact all of us if you have any other questions that you need answered about creating content, about Magi, about InLinks. We're all here.
it's great.
7-day
Did we
free
not-
trial, Gary.
I thought-
Everyone gets a free 7-day free trial. There's no special sign up for it. So just head to the website, click the sign up button, and you're golden. You'll get 7 days for free. You do have to enter credit card information. That's just one of our fraud detection measures. You will need to put a credit card in.
Oh, I like that. That's a good way of describing it. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm going to do when I have a $1 for 7 days.
So weird. My comments. Oh wait, here we
You're all okay. Yeah, you're okay, Zara. I think we're all sorted. It's all good.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to give everybody a link to if they want a cheat sheet for.
Oh well, I tell you what, put it in the comments on the YouTube link afterwards. That will
Okay. I'll do it afterwards. All right. Thank you. All right. Super. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anton, for your great help.
That's great. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.